Hi. I was really excited you wanted some more information about what exactly it is I've been doing lately that's been making a huge difference with my health and fitness and how I feel and how my clothes fit and all of that. So rather than try to type all this out, I thought I would make a really quick video to kind of talk about what it is I've been doing so you can decide for yourself whether it's something that you want to give a shot or not. Back in early May, I was coming off of 2 back-to-back all-inclusive vacations, and I'm not somebody anymore that does the whole, I'm on vacation, but I have goals, so I can't enjoy myself and have cocktails or enjoy the local food. But I'm also not somebody who veers so far off the other way where it's, I can have whatever I want because I'm on vacation and I just let everything go. And so I've had a really good success rate with finding a balance and finding what moderation actually means to me. But coming back, I started just really noticing that I was fighting the same 7 to 10 pound weight gain. And even more than that, I just wasn't feeling good. And what that meant for me, and I don't know if this is how you feel sometimes, but like my brain felt kind of foggy. I always felt bloated, especially in my middle and my hips and my stomach area, no matter what time of my cycle it was. My clothes were fitting tight, which I'm a big person who thinks, okay, if your clothes don't fit, get clothes that make you feel great. But my clothes weren't fitting, not because it was different. It just wasn't normal for me. I also didn't have the energy I had. I would have this like midday crash. And so it was interesting because not a whole lot else had changed. I still was drinking Shakeology every day, which is so good for my body. I still was exercising every day. But I would say for the past, because my energy was down and because I wasn't feeling super awesome, I would say that I was missing more of my scheduled workouts than I usually do. And I would also say that when I was working out, I wasn't working out to the same intensity that I normally was. So all those things kind of played a part. I also wasn't sleeping as well as I normally do. And I wasn't getting outside enough in this early spring. And so I just recognized I had to do something a little different. So basically the bottom line is I started doing some research on a kind of diet that is supposed to really help with inflammation. And what I've really come to learn is that not only was I suffering from inflammation around in my gut, but I also, that inflammation was affecting my brain and how my brain was working and functioning. I'm not kidding. Like, I've learned so much about my brain, it's crazy. So this particular diet and way of eating has helped me eliminate the foods that, for me, cause me the most problems and helped me learn how to figure out what foods cause me personally the most problems. So first thing I want to tell you is that this plan and what I'm going to help you with, should you decide that this is right for you, it's going to be an experiment that you are really going to have to decide for yourself how you feel at different levels of the experience. For example, something that really affects me is dairy. I have almost completely eliminated dairy, except for a few times a week I'll have certain kinds of cheese. But even some cheese really affects me negatively. So you might not have a problem with dairy, and once we get you to a place where you can experiment with adding some things back in, you might find out, okay, that doesn't bother me, and that is great. And you listen to me right now. You should never listen to anybody, an expert, somebody with qualifications, anybody. You shouldn't listen to them if what they're telling you to do is not right for you. Because you are your own person and you are your own proponent and advocate, and you know what's best for you. Let's just be honest, especially when it relates to exercise, and what foods you choose to put in your body. I have a history of allowing people to tell me what's right for me. And so that is something I don't want to have to be for someone else. So that first qualification is very important, that along the way you really need to dial in how you feel and how you are experiencing things for you. That being said, this plan that I'm going to show you an example of, it is specifically designed so that you can still make personal choices like what I'm talking about, but it will help you cut those foods that are known inflammatory response foods for everyone, just at various degrees. So you might be able to add certain things back in moderation, and you might find out, you know what, I'm going to have this on this day for this party, knowing that it's still going to make me feel not so great, but that's a personal choice. Whereas before, I was eating things that were causing me inflammation, and I had no idea why I was feeling the way I was feeling. It's like when you know, and you can make that choice for yourself. So that's kind of the very broad explanation of what I'm going to be talking to you about. And I really, from here, am going to want to find out more about what specifically you are struggling with and what you think you could benefit from as relates to a meal plan and nutrition, because that's usually the sticking point for a lot of people. Exercise, we can find all kinds of things to fill that gap. It's usually the nutrition that people just can't get a handle on. That was how it was for me. It's probably that way for you. I mean, there's so much conflicting information. There's so much, it's a lot. It's a lot. So that's kind of what this new 3-week thing that I was going to help you with will really help. It'll take that first initial guesswork out. It'll give you a meal plan. It will give you the recipes that you need. It will give you a list of foods that if something on that meal plan doesn't feel quite right for you, you can substitute. It will give you the exact shopping list you need for the week. So there is no way you can fail if you do the work. And a big problem most of my clients have is that you have to do the work. You have to do the work. It's work. At first especially. But what I will tell you is this. Now, this is not hard for me. I've lost 15 pounds since early May. And I'm not somebody who is like big on, oh, how much weight did I lose? But here's the thing. I have never felt better. The only time I felt better was when I did the 3-week program with Beachbody that's called Ultimate Reset. And that is something a little different. And it goes more into like vegan vegetarianism with supplements. This is, you're gonna move to whole foods, but yet it's still going to be a little more user-friendly. The recipes are not going to be super complicated. The kinds of foods are not going to be these really exotic things that you've never tried before. And again, you have a lot of personal choice with subbing out or making some modifications. But what I will tell you is if you do this plan as prescribed, you're going to be shocked at how the inflammation goes away and how you feel, like mentally. So anyways, this is getting long, so I'm going to stop. Right after you watch this, send me a message back, and then I'll start talking to you more and sharing with you that meal plan example and a recipe that you'll see how it's laid out. All right? So I'm glad you're interested. That is a huge first step. For me, when I had to lose my 45 pounds when I first was getting started, it was recognizing I had to make a change that made the difference. Before that, I was floating along. I was just phoning it in, and I wasn't ready. But when I made the choice, it made all the difference. So the fact that you even said you're interested is huge, and you should give yourself a lot of credit for that, for sure. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and we will get talking, and we will hopefully get you started.